Hello everybody, I'm BC Begley, and this is the news headlines for September 19th of 2022. Hurricane Fiona makes landfall in the Dominican Republic as most of Puerto Rico remains without power. Hurricane Fiona is pounding the Dominican Republic as it keeps thrashing Puerto Rico, nearly wiping out the island's power and inflicting dangerous flooding. Fiona made landfall Monday morning in the Dominican Republic after crossing onto land a day earlier in southwestern Puerto Rico. But it's still not done pummeling Puerto Rico, which remains almost entirely under flash flood or flood warnings nearly 5 years to the day after Hurricane Maria devastated the U.S. territory. China lodges complaint after Biden says the United States would defend Taiwan in a Chinese invasion. The Chinese Foreign Ministry said on Monday that China has lodged, quote, stern representations with the United States after U.S. President Joe Biden said the United States forces would defend Taiwan in the event of a Chinese invasion. Biden says the pandemic is over, and just like that, it's over, folks. President Biden declared the coronavirus pandemic, quote, over in an interview that aired Sunday, pointing to the return of large events and the lack of masking and other public health measures in place nationwide. Biden swaps Taliban drug lord for U.S. contractor held in Afghanistan. An American contractor kept hostage in Afghanistan since 2020 has been released in a prisoner swap for a Taliban drug lord who had been held in the U.S. government custody since his capture 17 years ago. Funeral honors Queen's lifelong sense of duty. The Queen's lifelong sense of duty has been remembered in her state funeral service at Westminster Abbey. The Dean of Westminster, who led the service, expressed gratitude to a congregation of 2,000 people, including world leaders and royalty. The Queen will be buried at a private family service on Monday evening. Zielinski vows not to let up as Ukraine says its troops threaten Russians in the Donbass. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky vowed there would be no let-up in fighting to regain territory lost to Russia as Kiev reported its troops had advanced to the eastern bank of the Oskol River, threatening Russian occupation forces in the Donbass. Typhoon batters western Japan with record rain, killing 2. Typhoon Namadal, one of the biggest storms to hit Japan in years, killed at least 2 people and brought ferocious winds and record rainfall to the west of the country on Monday, causing transport disruptions and forcing manufacturers to suspend operations. Crypto market bloodbath leads to $432 million in liquidation. The crypto market turmoil entered its third week of September as most of the cryptocurrencies started the week on a bearish note. The total crypto market cap dipped below $1 trillion again, with several cryptocurrencies recording a double-digit downfall over the past 24 hours. The Perseverance rover, NASA says, collects amazing rock samples. The United States Space Agency Perseverance rover is close to completing its first set of objectives on Mars. The NASA robot has collected a diverse set of rock samples that will soon deposit on the surface, awaiting carriage to Earth by later missions. It's 17 months since the vehicle arrived in an area called the Jezero Crater, slung below a rocket crane. And stocks rebound from earlier losses and volatile trading ahead of the Fed decision. Stocks rebounded from the earlier losses on Monday in a volatile trading session ahead of the Federal Reserve's 2-day policy meeting later this week. Investors are focused on the Fed's policy meeting slated to begin Tuesday, where the central bank is expected to raise interest rates by another 3/4 of a point. Floodwaters are receding after storm batters western Alaska. Floodwaters are receding in parts of western Alaska, which was battered by the worst storm in half a century, leaving behind debris flung by powerful Bering Sea waves into beaches and seaside communities. Pilot killed in crash at Reno National Championship air races. A pilot has died during a single jet crash at the Reno National Championship air races on Sunday, according to officials. The crash happened during the Jet Gold race in Nevada, according to the Reno Air Racing Association. The race was being live streamed on the Racing Association's YouTube channel, but has since been taken down. Sealed cave of artifacts from era of King Ramesses II, found by accident in Israel Park. Construction crews working at Israel's Beach National Park found a cave from the time of King Ramesses II, revealing, quote, what looks like an Indiana Jones film set, according to the Israeli Antiquities Authority. The discovery was made on September 14th, when digging equipment created a hole that offered a view inside a mysterious room, officials said. And Vladimir Putin calls for de-escalation as Kyrgyz and Tajik border conflict death toll nears 100. Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan said on Sunday nearly 100 people had died in their border conflict as a fragile ceasefire between the Central Asian nations extended into a second day, and their mutual ally Russia urged a de-escalation. The former Soviet republics clashed over a border dispute starting on September 14th, and accusing each other of using tanks, mortars, rocket artillery, and assault drones to attack outposts in nearby settlements. And those are your news headlines for September 19th, 2022.